lips chapped. All right, my intuition has been telling me to go live for a minute, and I was like, hold on, let me get some tea. And they was like, all right. And then I found this Starbucks inside of this Kroger's, and it started raining like as soon as I came out. Like they was like, girl, do this now. So I'm not really sure what they want me to say, but I am sure. I already have some messages. I'm just not sure how they like relate. But there's like this feminine energy, and it's like there's a feminine like in there's a female, I will say this. There's a female that's in like a very like toxic masculine energy, and like sending like strong like bad vibes, even though I don't like to like say like good or bad or whatever. There's also the message that they said that there's something that you think is too good to be true that's happening, and like that's why that female is mad. I just got a picture of Pride and Prejudice, the one with shit, I'm about to say Elizabeth. Her name is like Caitlin or some shit. It's like the most recent rendition of Pride and Prejudice, not the one that's with the zombies. But anyways, Mr. Darcy was obviously like in love with Elizabeth Bennet. And hearing jokes. And basically like when he had like made up his mind to like say fuck it, I'm going for it, even though she rejected me that first time. Because that's the thing about Mr. Darcy, like he was brave. Like he was brave enough to tell Elizabeth, like, what did he say when he walked up when it was raining and that little thing? He like rushed out and was like, I'm in love with you. Like, I must tell you, I'm in love with you. It's caused me so much suffering. And she was like, I'm so sorry to hear I've caused you so much suffering. And like, she was like, but I can't accept her proposal because of what you did. You stopped my sister from like marrying the love of her life, basically. And like, that ended their little thing. And then like time went on, and they like fate brought them together again, Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. And like they softened to each other again. So there was like a reconnection. And like he didn't let that stop him. Like when he saw her like again the next few times, he was like, okay, I wasn't crazy the first time, like that's my girl. And he made it known to like his rich aunt that he was gonna propose to her again. He wanted her again. And in the middle of the night, this rich lady, like this rich powerful woman with this like very masculine energy, because I keep feeling it on my right shoulder, and this is always like where the masculine energy is, but it feels like very like toxic. It doesn't feel like it's the correct suit. It's like somebody putting on a different skin. But anyways, she comes in there and she goes off on Elizabeth and like tells her how unworthy she is, and like how dare you think you could like be with my nephew, and like are you like you trying to swoon him or something like that, you know, like she's just going off on her. And this is a lady that's like very high ranking, and Elizabeth's like, you have come into my house in the middle of the night with nothing but insults, seeing as you could possibly have nothing else to say. I beg you to leave. And so the aunt leave, and Elizabeth go on a walk, and while she going to walk, Mr. Darcy appears far away. My lips are chapped, oh my gosh. Mr. Darcy appears from far away, and he's like, this time he's not in his suit. Like throughout the movie, like he like became more and more casual, and this time he was in white, and he was in like a very like flowy white shirt. And he was like coming like to like bare his soul once again. And like that's when a union happened. So like I was gonna do that. I think for this live I put the image that I took of these oracle cards from the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Anne, I believe her name is. And it's like the Door to Romance card. Like Door to Romance is open and like the Caring Connections is open. And I remember the time now is 17 and then the temperature in my car is 71 and it's raining hard as hell out of nowhere. Like the sky was like blue and it was pretty. And then like this rolled in just so I could like get this message out. But I started seeing like those cards. I wasn't even really asking about romance when I would like pull the cards. Like this was like I think like 2 months ago or so, and like those cards like kept coming out. And the energy was just very strong of like this like romantic thing. And like I didn't believe it then, and I kind of like still don't believe it now. But it's like the message is like, this is gonna happen regardless of like any fucking interference. I'm hearing it say any fucking interference, because there's like this it might be my higher self, but like my soul tribe that be around me, they're so funny, but they're like, we're not like, this has to happen. If this is relating to you, like if you're resonating with this message, I'm seeing like a bunch of like vines connecting to each other, and they're saying like in this like society or whatever you want to call it, like they try to like downplay romance and romanticism as like, how is this important to like, you know, the grander scheme of things, or it's like it's child's play to like think of romance and like union and stuff. But this shit is very important, not only because love is involved, and love like is the ultimate like cure. It can override anything. It's the ultimate weapon, ultimate cure. But it's like, it's because of the interconnectivity of it, like the web of it, flow of it. And I've been comparing love to water a lot, so we can just stick with that one. But if you think about like how water, like it's raining now, right? And I'm not drinking this water, but this water is still impacting me. It's getting in the soil, and it's feeding these plants that are in front of me. I'm gonna show. It's feeding the plants that are in front of me, right? And so like those plants are vitalized, and so they'll keep growing, and then they'll provide like shade for like coverage. They'll provide home for like so many insects and birds, and like it just keeps going. Like those birds, their carcasses or even their feces will go back into the soil and like fertilize. It's like this interconnected thing. And they're saying that this like romance, this divine union, this caring connection, because it's like, it's even beyond the words of union. I'm hearing now, like this is something you must understand, or this is something they don't understand. They will see it in terms of like separation. They will see it in terms of like start and beginning, start and end, beginning, end, like these steps. But it's not. It is always once love, always love. There is no possible way, there is no reality where like love does not exist, and therefore does not win, is not victorious. And so like even like one drop of it, if one drop of it exists, the whole thing will eventually be like healed, or it becomes that one drop. I don't know how to like get this out. It's like a channel message. Oh Lord, look at somebody like being mean and funny in the comments. Oh shit. When I said that, I felt like a hand like on my arm. Yeah, there's like very like protective energy around me right now. I'm not sure who it is. It's 5:22. Like, soon as I read this comment, somebody saying that I'm yapping, I felt like somebody like being like, huh, who said what? Who said what? Everything I'm saying is always like super important. If not for anybody, for me. I watch my own videos back and I'd be like, damn, like I needed to hear that today. And that's why I always say like time doesn't exist, and that's actually something that I just kind of like was thinking about. If you're watching this now, give this a thumbs up is what I'm hearing to say. And look, the Alchemist 369 just messaged, and this is what I was gonna say, because somebody asked him a question in his live Q&A, and he was like, time does exist, it's just not like how we think about. And in my video that I posted most recently about like this message has helped me, I hope they help you, I said that time doesn't exist. And I was like, damn, like was I wrong? But I was like, no, I wasn't wrong. And this is why I always like say, like, don't necessarily listen to what I say, although like listen to what I say, listen to the energy of what I say. As the language, any spoken language, I feel is extremely limiting. And something Ramona Lappin always said is that language itself is separating. Like saying one word and like it automatically separates you from other people. And so like it depends on like what you even mean by time. It depends on what you even mean by exist. Everybody has their own like different versions of it, but so I stand by what I say. I feel like I have glimpsed spaces where time like it does not exist, and I feel like if it doesn't, then it never does, and it's always an illusion. And that's just like my personal viewing of it. But if you change the definitions of what I'm talking about, then it's also true that it does. And I feel like this is also important, like the ideas of time and like these conflicts with language and definitions and stuff. That was also something that played a big role in the Pride and Prejudice movie, this miscommunication of language. A lot of things that Mr. Darcy did that were like for the benefit of Elizabeth Bennet were sometimes seen as like for her displeasure. And I keep seeing and I keep hearing like this emphasis of wealth. Like Elizabeth ended up like getting a lot of wealth because as she became like Mrs. Darcy, she like married into his family, and the last shot of the film is like the two of them on his like, yeah, you heard my accent, them two, on this big ass property, and like you see it sprawled out in front of them. And I feel like there's this energy, like there is this energy of like people not wanting, or like maybe multiple beings not wanting the divine feminine to like inherit like material abundance specifically from her divine masculine, from a divine masculine. And I'm saying all these terms, but these are just energies, and they exist within all of us. So just like I said, take the energy of what I'm saying, like more so than the words of what I'm saying. And I'm also channeling a lot of this, so I'm hoping I'm making sense, but have some grace for me, you know. A divine feminine that has like material abundance, it has that like pentacle energy, like that security specifically, that's like gifted to her, and like not where it's not possible, to the point where it's not possible for it to be taken away. Like her in that space, like she opens up so much. And from there, like so many other people, so many other beings can like benefit from that union. You can even think about it like, again, from this movie Pride and Prejudice, where like because Mr. Darcy was so like taken with Elizabeth, he did all these deeds for like her sister, her other sister, her family, like all these things. Like everybody around her was like benefited because he loved just her. And so like imagine like over the years, and like as that satiates, as that marinates, how much that would like spread and affect more and more people around them. I'm hearing that's why they work so hard to block these divine unions. I'm seeing this car 22, hold on, let me cut on the windshield wiper, 2202, and it says It said that that's not important. But 2202, 22 is obviously, in my opinion, a card of like partnership, working together. And then like there's that 0 in between. It's like this unknown. And then after that you get like union again. It's like not 2 2s, but it's just one after this state of like unknown, but this big potential for abundance. And I'm also hearing like even the word potential is like very important. I'm hearing that's why divine action is extremely important. I'm hearing that like naturally, if there were not so much interference, that this union, and I feel like even union is like it's not a good enough word, because as I was saying before, like once the love exists once, it does not stop. The same way that like as our souls exist, they always have, you know, there's no end or beginning to us. And it's the same with the connections. It's because they're not formed, they just are, right? And so like I'm trying to make sure I'm like saying stuff, because like I said, this is a downloaded message, a channel message. What was I saying? they were saying about this number 2202, and like that's why they try. So oh yeah, I was saying like naturally, like if this was like the original, like let's call it a video game, like if it was the original like format before like it was fucked with and like edited, like that the challenge would have been like coming here and like going towards each other. Like that would have been like as hard as it was. But like because it's been like a lot of interference, there needs to be like more like action or like masculine energy in order for like there needs to be like some sort of like push through or perseverance. There needs to be determination. I'm hearing like that's why like certain, is this correct? Don't want to say it, but I feel like it could be off. I'm seeing this A in this tree, but I'm hearing that's why like certain pairs came here, because it, oh yeah, I just felt like a little touch on my shoulder, because of like the difficulty level is like turned on max. And I always tell people this whenever they feel like afraid of the world and afraid of like the interference with these beings or whatever. I'm like let's say like there was a people that needed like so much help, like it was gonna be like the hardest, like I said, the hardest level ever. And like who would they send? They send you. They send you. You're here. So you say you here. Like I always reference that scene from The Incredibles where they're trying to save their baby that's like falling from the sky, and they're like, what can we throw? If we throw something, it might harm the baby. We don't want to harm the baby. We want to love the baby. We want to protect the baby. We want to save the baby. So you can't just throw anything at them, but you also need to throw something that's durable enough, strong enough to catch the baby. And then Holly Hunter, who's voice acting Elastigirl, she says, Bob, throw me. Like, throw me. Throw me up in the sky. I'll catch him. Like, she was the best option herself. The love within her was the best weapon, the best cure, the best savior. And so that's why you have like, I'm hearing like certain pairs here, but I'm feeling like something even with that. I'm feeling like there's like more to that, because I keep feeling like something. I'm hearing like there's like distortions or like, but there's obviously, I don't like talking too much about distortions, because I feel like people will like hone in on that. When you talk about distortions, it's easy to be like, this is a distortion, this is a distortion, like on, and like you start to like hate everything, or you start to like see everything as like wrong. And like it is, but it also isn't. You know what I mean? It is, but it also isn't. This is an experience. And it's like, yes, there's been fuckery, but obviously we must have consented to the fuckery. Otherwise it wouldn't exist. Just how I feel about it. That's how I perceive things. That's how I empower myself about it. Right now I'm seeing these birds and they're like on the ground because it's raining and there's like droplets from the trees. So obviously like the driest place will be lowered to the ground. I feel like that's also something. And I also feel like it's time for me to pull a card. So that's what I'm gonna do. Is it time for me to like take a sip of this? Let me see if it's cooled down enough. Mm-hmm. 5:33 now. So I feel called to share this. 5:33. Maybe I don't need to pull cards after all. Oh my gosh, my nose. What is this? Is my nose just dry? Lord mercy. Anyways, yeah, I feel called to share this because there's obviously something to do with touch. I keep hearing this song. It's by a Japanese house, Japanese breakfast, something like that. And it's a song called Touching Yourself. It's like, I had to go into the other room. You told me something and I can't think about anything else. Guess I could wait till another day. And now I'm picturing you and you're touching yourself. I've always known that like touch. Whoa! I just felt something else. Oh my gosh. Yeah, touch is very important. But yeah, I don't know when this happened, but I don't know. One day I just started being able to see like the outlines of like beings, and there's always like a few around me all the time. The other day they reminded me to schedule an appointment. I was like, what the hell you want? I'd be like, what? Why you keep bothering me? And they're like, girl, you need to like call and make an appointment for your car. And I was like, oh. But yesterday a new one came. I feel like I haven't seen this one before or in a while. This friend, it's like they came in like for this new part of my journey because I'm transforming, honey. I just heard the click, so yeah, that's what it's for. And yeah, like this man is wearing a pink shirt. It's a pink energy, and look at this is pink too, and I haven't worn this shirt in forever because I used to wear it all the time. And anyways, I saw them, like I was laying in bed and I saw like this, like I always describe it as like the same like look as like the cloak of invisibility from Harry Potter, where there's like this like clear fabricy outline is how I see them. Like I don't see like how they actually look. I feel like they're trying to scare me because there's still parts of me that are in fear, but that's okay. Anyways, I saw them like come up, like walk through my bed, like to stand beside me, and they like touched my arm, and it was like really strong. This was last night actually. And then like my other guides, like they came in, my guides, my friends, my family, they came in and they were like all around me, and I felt like it was a lot of touch. And I was like, what the hell, like what y'all trying to say, like what's going on, what da 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 da. And I ended up having to like pull a lot of cards because at first I was just trying to like meditate on it, but every time I would like try to meditate, there would be like a lot of like thoughts coming in. And there's definitely been like a switch. And like I said earlier, like I heard on the way here that like I'm hearing it even now, like nothing is going to be the same. It's you, babe, and I'm a sucker for the way that you move, babe. And I could try to run, but it would be useless. You're to blame. Just want to hear you. I know I'll never be the same. Like, is that feeling? And in this car right here, it says 4560. So a lot of emphasis on the number 0. 0 is like rebirth. I always said new birth, newborn, rebirth, clean slate, but with a huge emphasis on like abundance. Because you know, you think about zeros, like the bank account, the more zeros you got, like the more financial abundance you have. And it's also like the Fool card. I feel like the Fool is such an abundant energy, like just willing to trust that everything that they need will be there. And so I feel like at this time, like as things are like revealing themselves, excuse me, very strong energy. I'm gonna answer the question soon. But yeah, like that trust, and they're saying like it's not gonna be so much like in the background or like going on in the background soon with this bird here, but like there is like you have to trust the unseen. Trust the unseen. I just felt a little move on my leg. But yeah, people keep asking me where I'm from. That's so interesting. Like, how is that like a trend that people do like on lives and shit? I don't think I've ever asked anybody like on a live. I don't really watch that many lives, so like where they're from. But I won't mention it because earlier when I was driving here, I kept like trying to use my original accent. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. Like, I remember when I was younger, I had a thick ass accent. Like, I was very, very little country girl. Where that go? Who that is? Like, I'm finna go take a bath. I'm finna go bathe. Like, I used to talk like that. And then I moved to Texas. And while Texas people, there's still obviously like a southern accent to how I speak. It's more like correct in terms of English, and it's not, it's like, and then it's like multiple, because you know different little areas even within Texas have like multiple accents. And because I'm a super duper empath, like I got like the accent of like where I live, and then I went to college, and so you'll also sometimes see like that sometimes that I'm sound, you'll hear like the accent from like that area, because I used to talk to a lot of people and listen to them constantly in that area, especially me, because I used to always want to watch the boys play basketball. I love basketball and I love the boys, so I used to always like be in a recreation center every day, and I watch all the local boys play basketball, and like hearing that every day all the time, like it gets in me. And so it's like my accent like switches a lot. It's like multiple ones. But when I was on the way here, yeah, so I'll get to that real quick. The car that I said is a 4560 number. There's this man, and he's pretty attractive, I guess. He's wearing a white shirt, and I mentioned that earlier when I was talking about Darcy, how like at the end, like when it was time for them to like he really had to like persevere, like past like society, social standards, social morals, like things like that. He had to really push through, like his aunt being in his ear talking shit, his best friend's like sister pursuing him, like he had to push through all of that. And so did Elizabeth, to meet each other in that field, and he was wearing that white shirt. But anyways, like I was thinking about like my accent when I came here, like the way that I speak. I don't know how that's important, but it always is. When I look back at these videos, like I said, it'll be like a year later, 4 months later, and I say something that's directly related to what I'm like thinking about at the time. This feels great. I'm glad I did this. I feel so much better. Hey. All right. So right now I'm reading this book called Song of Achilles, and I feel like I'm supposed to get a quote from here. So that's what I'm gonna do. Give me a moment. Can I put this down here? Alright. Where is Sicilia? I asked. It is to the south along the coast, not far from there by horse, near Lesbos, Achilles said. Brasiles nodded. Later, when all the rest had gone, he said, we raided Sicilia, do you know? No, he nodded. I remember that man, Etienne. He had 8 sons. They tried to hold us off. I could tell by the quietness of his voice. You killed them. An entire family slaughter. He caught the look on my face, though I tried to hide it, but he did not lie to me ever. Yes. I knew he killed men every day. He came home wet with their blood stains. He scrubbed from his skin before dinner. Before there were moments like now, when that knowledge overwhelmed me. Whoo! Whoo! I got so much from that one little quote. It's like, what I got from that was like the shame of like a masculine, and in this case for what we're talking about, the shame of like a divine masculine energy, like that's gonna be, or that is, and you need to find a better word, that is with the divine feminine. I feel like union just isn't good enough. Like there's this shame of like the past or even the present, because honestly that was in the present moment. There's this shame of like what they do and like who they talk to, who they're interacting with. Because as I was saying that, like, and even now, like the rain is choppy now, but as I was reading that part, the rain picked up a lot, like saying like I don't want you to hear this, or I don't want you to know that. And I'm hearing also like something about like lover. Like I'm like, I don't know, like their past or their present lover, or like their sexuality, like they feel there's like this insecurity about it, this feeling of like not feeling impure, feeling like dirty, because it said like he had to scrub it off, feeling like they've made some sort of like mistake, like presently, that could potentially be like a reflection or connected to like their past, what they call mistakes. And it makes them feel tainted. It makes them feel unworthy of the divine feminine, which is interesting because that's something that I was thinking about on the way here. Where I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, like I've done this and I've done this and I've done this. Oh shit, a stick just hit my window. Okay. It's 5:44. And I was thinking this about myself, and I was like, fuck it, like I'm still worth it. I was like, I'm still like worth like the best. I was like, even with like everything I've done, like the craziness, the like talking about people, I feel like I've like said some unfair things about people recently, been judgmental. I'm like, fuck it, even with all that, like I'm still like worth it. There's this man with this bald head, and his shirt says Harvard. Talk about the smarts. He's bald, so his whole like head is exposed, and he had on that Harvard shirt. So like, I don't know, yeah, like the divine masculine, like what I'm talking about in this connection is like very like in their head. And I feel like they're also like potentially, is this true? My guys have been telling me recently, like, stop questioning yourself. Like, if you feel something, just say it. Stop, like, questioning. Anyway, so I'm just gonna say it. I feel like they're, like, very in their head and, like, trying to logic out the connection. To take it back to Pride and Prejudice, I feel like Mr. Darcy was, like, very, like, the numbers. Like, I have this many estates, and, like, what would that mean if she, like, were to come to my estate? And, like, where would she sleep? And, like, all these things about the numbers and the money, and like introducing her to society, and like their union wasn't allowed, even though again, like there's no such thing as like, I want to be careful with my words with that one. It's always hard, like I said, with the language in general. What I mean by like there's always union, they're always connected. You can't stop love once it's begun, and it always was. So they weren't allowed like that physical union until he said fuck it, like fuck all the rules, fuck trying to like make this make sense and like explain it to my aunt and like do it in this like logical way, or even ask her, because at the end, like the first time he proposed to her, he asked her. The second time he was like, I don't have it in me anymore. No, I think it was the first time. Maybe I'm like thinking about Twilight or some shit. Yeah, like Twilight, you know, it's all connected. And Edward was like, I don't have it in me anymore to try to stay away from you. I'm not going to try anymore. I don't have it. Like, I don't. But I feel like the Darcy one at the end was better. I need to like remember what he said exactly at the end. No, he said, from this moment on, I never wish to be parted from you again from this moment on. So yeah, it's basically saying like, from now on, I never wish to be parted from you. I can't do it. Like you have to like let it like overtake you. You know, love is water. They let it drown you. Become aquatic. Yeah. All right. So maybe now, do they want to talk more about the shame of like the shame of what's going on? I'm seeing like a lightning strike. So I'm hearing like the advice for like the masculine in this connection or these connections, right? It's like me, like I keep having like these little messages and I'm like, is that the right thing to do? Like, should I say that? And I just said like my guides, my higher self has been telling me like, stop doing that. Like when you get an insight, say that shit. Like don't second guess yourself so much or at all, really. I saw this quote the other day and it was like, the innocents always receive love. Like being naive, being a fool, like is really a good place of abundance. Like it really is. So it's okay like if you say something and it's quote unquote wrong or whatever, because like the joy of getting to be yourself every time will outweigh any consequence of that action. I feel like, because like the part that makes it hurt so much, the suffering comes from the shame of it. Anyways, the fear, yeah, which is like, you know, out of love. But yeah, the advice for the masculine is to do that in a lightning strike, like tower moment. In the unknown tarot, wild unknown tarot that I was using last night, a lot of cards with lightning strikes on them. It was the Tower card, it was the Hierophant card, and the King of Wands card. They all had like these lightning strikes in the background, and those are, in my opinion, all like masculine energy cards. Yeah, like that's the advice. Like if you feel called to do something, do it. Don't like sit there and like think about it, logic it out so much, especially in regards, I'm hearing like in regards to this connection, because I'm also hearing right now that like if this message is for you, it's already popping up everywhere. I'm seeing somebody at like a farmer's market and there's like the name of like the divine feminine there, or like there's something specifically that they said or that they wear, like their perfume, their scent, someone who looks like them is like at the farmer's market. Like everywhere they go, it keeps popping up. And like there's like, yeah, I'm feeling relief as I'm saying that. There's like this feeling of like, okay, like I'm gonna get to it like once I arrive. On this card, 3, 2, 1, 5. 5 is the action number for forward action, in my opinion. I always think the number 5 is like change. So it's like 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. It's like, instead of being like, okay, like after this, after I finish this, after I do this, then I'll do it. The same way with me driving here. I was like, I know that I'm supposed to go on live, but I'm gonna do it after I get my tea. I'll do it after I go to Starbucks. And then I found the Starbucks that I was trying to go to and I passed it. And I was like, ah, shit. And so then I went out and I was like, okay, like I was still like wandering around, like waiting for like a good message to hit before I went on live. And it's like, the message will come. The messages came as I got on live. Like, as you saw, like I had the messages right when I did it. And like I said, again, that's that full energy of like, you will have what you need as you arrive at your destination. Like, it's like you create the reality as you go forward, as well as this reality was destined and pre-planned. But as I said before, like you have to actually like walk it. If it was before, in the before times, before like the fall and all this shit, and this is the way that I'm feeling it and seeing it, and like it would have been this like, you know, connection, like the challenge would have just simply been like just coming here in the first place. But because this is post the fall and post all this stuff, you have to like physically do it. It's the same concept of like how here manifestation, like there has to be like certain coordinates and frequencies and stuff, and like time for like the materialization of it a lot of the time. But like outside of it, it's like instantaneous. You instantly like manifest like what you want. Like it just comes instantly. Like that's how I was before. But like here you have to actually like apply action to it. in like a physical way. This thing always irritates me. I'm so like particular about certain things. Okay, I'm gonna just take a few breaths and then I'm gonna see if it's time to like pull cards, or if I should pull cards at all, or if this is like all that I need to say. You haven't really got any advice for the divine feminine. I feel like the divine feminine should be the same, really honestly, like the same as the divine masculine, but I feel like in a different way, like I was saying earlier, like claiming myself, like saying to myself, like, yeah, all this and all this, but I'm still the shit. Like, I'm still the baddest. You know what I mean? Like, even with all this, like, even with all, like, all my things, my arrogance, my false ego, my pride, my insecurities, my temperamentalness, my rage, my pain, like, I'm still the best. I'm still the best option for myself. I still love myself deeply. And I always think about, like, if I were like viewing myself or like somebody else, like, I'd still choose me. I'd be like, I want her. Like, I want that girl right there. Like, that's the one for me. Like, bring her here. Her every time. Like, no matter what I did, I'd always be like, her. Choose. I want her. And I feel like that's the action, yeah, with this bird and this car finally removing. That's the action of the divine feminine. That's the advice for what she should take, what she should do in terms of this union, this connection. I'm seeing the parent trap now. What about it? Yeah, how like it was twins, like in the parent trap. And this is the one from like my generation, even though I think that movie still came out before I was born, because I know there's like another one before that. But and the one with Lindsay Lohan, it's twins, but it's just one. It's the same person. It's just one person. Just playing two different roles. Excuse me. I'm hearing like this connects to the divine feminine, like she's the two players. I'm hearing like if there's like I was saying before, there was like this third energy. It was a lot of like other like energies around Darcy, like feminine energies, and not necessarily romantic. Like I was saying before, like there was the energy of his aunt that was like interference and like no, she's poor. She's poor. She's a peasant girl. She wasn't a peasant girl, but you know, I don't know the terminology. I never read the book. But it's this energy of like, you think by like choosing or like going another route that you're like, is this a bluebird? Nah, just a bird landing out here. Hey boo, can you hear me? Hold on. He's like, continue on. Oh, he came right in front of me. I'm pretty sure it's a dude. But anyways, they were saying that like with the twins, like you think by choosing like the Lindsay Lohan that's like British, that you're not choosing the one that's American, but both of them are her. And it's the same feeling of like I was saying, like you can avoid it, like you can go to the farmer's market, but you'll still see the divine feminine there. She'll still be there. Like you can't escape it. And like I was saying before, it's like the same thing that Mr. Darcy was saying. Like I wish to never be parted from you again. I might as well surrender to it. It's a surrendering to like the tide of it. And I'm feeling like once he did that, like all the stuff that he was worried about, because I keep hearing like finances, even though I don't think Darcy had any financial struggles. I guess in terms of like helping Elizabeth's folks with like their financial stuff, like it'll all be like resolved, or it might not even matter like once you get like the divine feminine. Because I was thinking about this like yesterday, like you put like a very high vibrational person like in like an impoverished space, and like it won't even feel like poverty. It'll feel so fucking rich in there. Like, it'll be the best space. I remember, like, for a long time, like, my favorite place in the world was my great aunt's house. And her house was small as fuck. They had literally one bathroom and this tiny kitchen and like this combined like living room dining space. And I love that place. I used to love going there. She had this very old like swing set in the background, this old rocking chair on the front porch. That was my favorite place in the world because every time I went to that place, like my whole family was there. It was always a lot of people there. And like that was like one of the only spaces where I like felt like I could fall asleep on the couch while people are still walking around, because I'm a very sensitive sleeper. I can't sleep with like people still moving around with a lot of noise, but at her house I could. And it's the energy of like of the abundance of like the love and like the care that was there, because there were always a lot of babies there because my great aunt used to be a nanny. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about, like that. It won't even matter once you surrender. Once you surrender, the things you're worried about won't even matter, and they'll also be solved. I feel like it'll just be given out, like I said, this card 3215, like boom. A lot of things will just start to be easier and get into motion once this is like faced. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull a card. Oh wait. I'm laughing because they were like, why are you pulling cards? You already know what it's gonna say. It's so funny. Look at that! Bottom of the deck. And he has a shuffle. Happy family. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah. Yeah. I feel I heard like the Doja Cat like freestyle her Scarlet album where she was like, yeah, like hyping herself up, like, yeah, let's fucking go. Like, that's how I feel. Yeah, third chakra, happy family type shit. Community, thinking man. Yeah, there's the divine masculine is thinking a lot. Look at these feathers on the head. Feathers, that's that air energy, which in my opinion, like, is like a lot of like logic, like more logic, because you know you use the feathers to like write. They're like thinking and like logic, very like reasoning energy, but they could be like partying. All right, anything else you want me to say? Anything else? Why am I singing? Oh my gosh. Look, blossoming abundance. And then the crown chakra. The crown chakra here. And blossoming abundance, there's like another one. Yeah, indecision. As I just split the deck, like there is like this indecision, but it's like the guy was saying about Lindsay Lohan playing in like Parent Trap. Both of these paths are gonna lead to like the feminine. Both of them. You do or you don't. The only difference is like one of the paths is gonna be like longer and like more tumultuous, like include like more bumps and shit. A wolf might jump out or something, but like it's all to like get you home, you know. Do I smell good? Oh my god, I just smell my perfume. I'm like, the reason I keep laughing is because I keep like hearing little things. Like the reason you keep singing is because like the divine masculine likes that you sing, and like the smell of me, it smell good. The shirt says the Badlands. Oh my gosh, I'm hearing a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, blossoming abundance. Is there anything I need to like be asking in particular? Because I'm just like, we could go all day. We really could. Okay, let me take a second to breathe a little bit. The sun's back out. Look at that. Let me see. Let me roll down the window. It's raining a little bit. I think, yeah, a little drizzle, but it's mostly good. Oh Oh my gosh. What about that? What about that? I feel so high school every time I look at you. I wanna find you in a crowd just to hide from you. And in the blink of a crinkling eye, fingers and fingers entwined, she's peeking the twinkling light. Tell me about the first time you saw me. Ah, look at that. Split the deck. Angel, I don't even need shuffle. That's the thing. I don't even need to shuffle. It's all just like I keep getting this one, and yeah. Ooh, look at attachment. I've been the same cards over and over. Look at this. It's like, just do it. Just, it's like when you're ready, just do it. But there is a divine timing like element to this, but I also feel like the divine timing, it will depend on your divine time will depend on your divinity. Like, it'll depend on like how like adamant you are about like what you want. Like, you want this? All right, here you go. Like, you know, it's like, here you go. I was hearing something about like somebody saying like there's like a government that like when you get married they give you like money for a car, they give you $50,000 for a house, like they give you like all this shit like just because you exist. And like if you're coming from like here, you're coming from America, or like just this, you know, this world in general, this part of the world in general, you wouldn't even know that those benefits existed if you went to like that other place. Like, you'd be waiting on like your check to come in, or you'd be waiting on like some sort of approval, and it's like you don't need the approval. The only like the timing, the divinity of the timing, the time itself is depending on like when you finally like realize like that it's time, like that you can just go and claim this, like it's free, like you can just go and pick it up. Like, imagine like a grocery store and like, I don't know, the world's ended or the world's changed or something, but you're still like in this mindset of like being conditioned that you have to pay. And so like it'll be just sitting there, and like you stand there like waiting on a cashier to ring you up, and there's no registers. Like you're waiting, you're looking around for like somebody to pay, and then and it finally dawns on you like you don't have to pay. Like, it just depends on how long it takes you to like get out of that state of thinking for the divinity to be timing, for the timing to be divining. What was I gonna say? Excuse me, very strong. Like, I told my coworkers this the other day, and they were like, "Girl, what?" But one time I went and like turned on the shower water and to like warm it up, because at first it's cold, and then I went and like grabbed my pajamas, and then I went back to the bathroom door and I saw like the shower was on, and I was like, oh, somebody must be in there. And so I waited and waited, and I was like, man, it's been like 30 minutes, like they still in the shower. And then like it finally like clicked on me that like I turned on the water, like that was for me, like it's for me. And so it's like whenever you decide like, oh yeah, like this is my shit, like, and like get like very comfortable in that, because that's a lot of what the Song of Achilles is about so far, about like getting comfortable with the idea that like Achilles, I think his name Procultus, I'm just gonna call him P because I can't pronounce his name, my American ass. It's about him like coming to terms with like the idea that like this is your, like Achilles is like your person, like this is your person, and he just like was angry about it for the longest time, jealous of Achilles. And like it's like being jealous of yourself, because you're the one that gets him, like you're the one that gets to be around him. So yeah, anything else? Feeling this one. Yeah, door to personal healing and happiness. I'm gonna leave it at this because I need to charge my phone. But like, everything you want, this is something Ramona Lappin says all the time, everything you want is on the other side of fear. So put your ass out there. I'm just kidding. Yeah, a lot of like angels, coming out for this reading. It's because you are angelic. You are who you are, what you consume. You are who your friends are. If you surrounded by angels, then you must be an angel, boo. That's how I be thinking about it. Like, Shit, if the angels around me, I must be one of them boys. I must be one of them. That's what I be thinking. I must be angelic, and it's like, if I'm an angel with like the way that I am and all my little things, then like it must be okay. Yeah, and I just noticed these are 3 and 4. Like they're right next to each other. Like boom, boom. And these are the numbers of like the Empress and the Emperor in the tarot. Like look at that, right next to each other. Hoo hoo. I don't know what that sound was, but okay. Thank you so much for watching. I am the Bright Queen. There's a reason why I call myself that. I would implore you to check that out. I also go by Queen Sensitivity. I'd also implore you to check that out, but you don't have to. And I also go by Jabria, because that's my name. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you so much, Future Jabria, for watching this. If you're still watching this now, give this video a thumbs up, share it, like it, and subscribe and shit. Thank you so much for the people who've been leaving comments on my videos. Like, oh my God, like I can't believe it. I get comments on my videos because I love to talk and I love words. So I'm so grateful for that, so thankful. Enjoy even the worst parts. I'll leave it at that.